Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be first thing in the morning. So, I don't know.
Cool.
What time do you like driving?
I can drive anytime. The reason I'm asking is because I, of course, this always happens to me. This always fucking happens to me. I have a prescription that I need to refill on the 30th, which is Friday, and they won't fill it the day before. They like can't fill it on Thursday, but it's from CVS, so I can get it at a CVS in Louisville. I just have to like transfer it.
Do you and you have to have it while we're gone, or is it like it'll lapse if you don't get it?
Like I have to have it, but the thing that happens is I'm trying to get like a little bit ahead because I've been going on vacations, and
So you'll
like
run that prescription while we're gone.
I don't know. I have to count them.
Okay.
But I could get them in Memphis too. Like it doesn't matter. I could get it at any CVS.
So it's not as long as you call and do the whole 1 hour thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You just got to give them notice of like, I'm going to come to this specific one.
Yeah. And like, or go there or whatever, call ahead. But I have to put the one that I have on hold and all the things.
Yeah. Are you coming here Thursday? You're going to be here Thursday night, right?
I think so. So.
Yeah.
That's the plan?
I would hope you'd want to get a good night's sleep before we go in the morning.
Yes, that's the plan. But, you know. And you don't have to put the whole bed out or anything. I could just sleep on the couch thingy behind you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Because it like pulls, it's like a bed couch anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it might be kind of weird to I think it's best if you kind of pull the cushions out, like the back cushions out, and you like just laid there.
Yeah.
Because it's like wide enough that it's basically, you know.
Yeah, that's perfect. What I'm saying is you don't need to get the mattress.
Yeah, we're not going to do the mattress. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Let's go no hat. My hair looks good enough.
No hat.
What's your pretty stuff?
Which ones did you pick? Or is it going to be a surprise?
It'll either be a surprise.
Oh, wow. It just changed. Did you just turn your headphones on?
I just put my mic in and stuff. Yeah.
Damn. It is amazing how different that is.
Well, it's probably a lot of background noise and stuff from the fan when it's not plugged up. Because I don't know exactly where the speakers are, or the microphones are, but it's got to be right next to that fan, I would assume.
Oh, I haven't opened up GarageBand. Did you notice? I don't know if it's your GarageBand, if this happened in your GarageBand. You know how like normally, oh piss. Normally it file open new. Normally when you like exit out of GarageBand, it like pops up with a new screen. It's like, do you want to start a new project? And you're like, no, I don't.
No, mine just asked, do you want to save it? And I say, don't save. Do you want to save the project? Normally I do the Control Q to quit out of it. I don't hit the X.
Oh my God, I didn't know that you could do that.
Do you not do that to close programs? You hit Command Q?
No, I did not know that Command Q was a thing.
Well, the thing is on Mac, if you just exit out of stuff, you see it's still got the application down there with a dot sometimes.
Yeah, it's still open. Yeah.
That means it's still probably using some memory.
Yeah.
So I just do Command Q, and that'll kill it. It'll remove it from memory. It's not going to keep anything running in the background. I do that because I assume it's going to help my speed of things loading by actually quitting it versus just exiting out of it.
I just quit.
But I don't know if that's accurate. So
it might be. You never know.
And I'm gonna work some Friday too. I think I'm gonna, because I want to work in the car. I was thinking about working a whole day, but I don't know if I need to. I could probably get away with that. It's a Friday.
I kind of want snacks. I should have like.
Rachel's gonna go to the grocery, by the way. We're making up a snack list.
Cheetos.
Cheetos. I was also telling her to get some get like 2 pounds of Cajun turkey. Like if we got to do on the go like sandwiches, like Cajun turkey, pepperoni, like spicy mayo, would you be good with that?
Can she get like half turkey, half ham?
Yeah, what kind of ham? Black Forest, honey ham?
Sure.
Which kind do you like?
Black Forest, I guess.
Black Forest. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm totally down for sandwiches, actually. If we can save some money on lunches.
I figured it would be like while we're driving and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Hey, instead of stopping and getting fast food every time, just anyways or whatever. Because like hotel vending machines with ice and stuff. So, or we just bring our freezer packs and freeze them every day and like take stuff with us. So.
Oh, I have a Yeti. I have a Yeti.
Okay. How big is it? Is it like a...
Plenty big.
Okay. It's not like too big, right? It's not like...
No.
You could fit like a small toddler in there or something, right?
No. No, I used to take it for weekends up in Leavenworth, so let me put that on my notes.
Yeah, that would be good. Because otherwise, we would bring one of Rachel's like soft-sided ones that's probably not as good as a Yeti. You probably got a hard-sided one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, let's take this and we can just buy a bag of ice. That'd probably be best. What I used to do...
I mean, we have those freezer packs, but that requires the hotel to have a fridge with freezers.
Yeah, what I used to do and what I think is the best is to buy an ice block.
Well, I mean, we can use ice the first day, and then every hotel that we stay at has ice, so you just refill it with new ice.
That works too.
As long as you don't like have stuff that can get water.
Well, let's just take plastic bags. We can take Ziplocs.
Yeah.
Fill them up. So, yeah, that's perfect because it should hold the cold for a long time.
Yeah, that's going to be way better than what we've got. Okay.
Cooler.
Do you have any beverage requests?
I have Spindrifts, so I'll bring Spindrifts.
Okay. We got some little of those sodas that my parents got this weekend that I took home with me because I technically paid for all that stuff. So.
Yeah. Do you need any money, by the way, for that? I know I paid you a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I should probably ask if you want any more money.
For what?
The show stuff.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you did bring 2 of the tents, and you set up 2 of the tents, and all the other stuff. Like,
I did.
Like, that's fine.
I really like that musician. He was really quirky.
I just wish his audio was louder.
Yeah, me too, but it was great.
I think next time he would probably be under the tree, kind of like right next to where you were. Like to the right of where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of where those set of chairs were sitting. I think that would be a good central location that everybody could hear him. I mean, he's kind of hidden from people that walk in, but I think it would be okay.
Or by the
Like, what if he was in your spot where you were?
Yeah, well, I think that next year you need to block off where the tree is so that people, like, a lot of people walked past me because they, like, I don't know. But
behind
behind the tree, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, I don't care. It's fine with me. But yeah. Do I need to bring my laptop on this trip?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna have mine because I'm working on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Or on Friday, but.
Are we gonna take a mic?
I can.
Like, do we need to?
We might as well. I mean, I don't know. Do you think we'll record something ad hoc?
We could record something while we're driving. I could interview you and Rachel while we're driving. That would be fun. We should do that.
As long as you can focus enough to do that.
I can.
Okay.
But it'll be funny regardless.
As long as there's not a lot of background or whatever, and it's doable. And then if we feel like it, we could record some 30-minute ones or something for those short, if we wanted to, or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's put this on Do Not Disturb. Is your phone silent and silented?
Yeah, I'm just...
Have you been using your computer Do Not Disturb much since I told you about the swipe, or I guess you knew that it had that.
I've never used it.
Oh, really?
Mm.
See, I just swiped that. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, sorry. I'm like updating shipping because I want to get these printed off. And there's internet down here, so I'm using the internet here, and then I'm gonna save them, and then print them upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Because
mine's always on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Didn't see any new patrons this weekend, but
no patrons.
We were kind of historically getting about 2 per weekend.
We were? Did we say anything about the Patreon in the last episode?
Yeah, it was at the very beginning.
Huh.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it. I don't know if we mentioned it in the last couple that we recorded that haven't come out yet, but we mentioned it in the one that just went out.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready for some football? All right.
Okay. Create. Do. Test. Test.
Do you test every time? I do not.
I do, because I feel like one time it didn't work.
Do we need to pick out a listener question here?
Oh, yeah.
Or a review? Is there any? Go ahead.
I fucking ravaged my notes this weekend. Ravaged and deleted all of the notes that I felt like I wasn't going to ever need again.
Where you just open and you write like 2 sentences and then you have that note forever?
No, most of them were past Wheel Talk conversations.
Oh. You're talking Wheel Talk only ones.
No, I deleted a lot of other ones too, but
oh, okay. Well, the good thing is you delete them, it doesn't delete them from mine, so
exactly. So that's good. Unless I created the note, but I never do.
Yes, you never do. Which is fine.
Okay. I also really need to... Maybe I should bring my laptop so I can edit the best ofs while we're there.
Oh, yeah, we need to get the next one out.
Yeah. Okay. List. Laptop. Okay. Listener question.
Was there anything good from the survey that we hadn't...
God, I haven't looked at the survey in such a long time.
I want to look at the survey. Some of those, like, if there's anything you could read or say. I'm going to look at that.
We could do the what's the biggest mistake you made that ended up being your best success by accident.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what that would be. Man, my internet is slow. I need to get my phone off the Wi-Fi. That might help too.
We got a pretty good email by K2C Creations.
Oh, I remember seeing the email, but I did not read it.
It's fascinating.
It got marked as red, and I did not get to it.
I unmarked it as red.
You unmarked it?
I marked it as unread.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she just sent it tonight. Okay. I see those little blurbs come across, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I'll get back to that. But I don't. For a while. If you could say anything anonymously.
What?
If you could say anything anonymously on the podcast, what would it be? I'm reading.
Oh, shit.
What?
Somebody just bought... Finally, somebody bought the Circle Cup. Oh, good. Nice. It was Kelly.
Kelly who?
KCT, KC2, K2C, KT.
The one that just did the email? She bought it? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, here we go. I got something I can read from the survey.
You're just reading and laughing.
Yeah. Okay, I might read 2 of these. All right. When do you want to start? Now where did the garage? There it is. Okay.
Okay. Yay!
When are we starting?
We are starting at 15.
15?
15.
All right.
15.
Started.
We're live.
Did you get that tone when I sent that to you in the message today when you set your shop live?
Yeah.
We're live.
We're live. I can't imagine if somebody's like listening to our podcast for the first time. They're like, "You're not fucking live."
There's no live. Becca and I are live in the moment.
That we are alive.
Yes. We're alive.
We're alive with the Holy Spirit.
Okay. How's it going, Becca?
That reminds me of when I went to Christian school when I was younger. And I remember the song was like, Amen. Amen.
I remember that song.
Amen. 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 Hallelujah.
Killing it with the lyrics.
That's the only lyrics that they had. And they wonder why it wasn't cool.
Oh, gosh.
It wasn't cool to be in school. Anyway, I'm doing okay.
Did you sell all your cups? I think you got one left.
I think I have one left. Which is very exciting because a lot of people didn't know this. Usually I am really real about why I'm selling things. But the reason that I went to your show this weekend, the backyard show, and the reason that I am selling these cups is because we're going on a vacation next weekend, you, me, and Rachel. And I realized I needed money. And so
because you're not going to be working for a straight week.
I'm not going to be working for a week. So that's why these are being sold. So yeah, I've sold $544 today.
Sweet.
Not too shabby for 5 things.
Yeah, I think I actually got a couple invoices paid today, so I might have made about 450 or something like that.
Well, you know what? Life isn't a competition, Ryan.
No, I'm just celebrating with you.
No, I'm actually very excited about that. And let us also talk about, because this applies to both of us, the show that we did together.
Yes, we did. Together but separately.
Together but separately. Ryan's mother and father so graciously give up their backyard one day a year for a backyard art show.
Yep, we call it the Backyard Craft Show. Second annual this year.
Boom. And Ryan killed it, and so did a couple of the other vendors, apparently, which is great. I had the most white trash setup you could have, and I did okay. So, and for literally when we were coming back from the Berea show, we were talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, and that was 2 weeks ago. Like, yeah, maybe I'll make some cups. And so I literally had 2 weeks of work. So
I can't believe that was only 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. It was so funny. Because I had that sign that said basic cups and fancy cups, and people kept looking at the wine glasses, and they're like, why are these basic? And why are these fancy?
Did they pick up the fancy ones?
Yeah, they did. And then I told them how much they were, and then they like gingerly set them down.
They're like, I don't want to hold something that could break and cost me $100.
Yeah, it was definitely not a fancy cup show, for sure.
No, it was not.
It was not.
It was craft, backyard craft.
It's craft, so backyard craft, which is totally fine.
Those fancy cups are more for like an art show.
Right. I didn't expect any of them to sell, and I sold one to your mom, so I exceeded my expectations.
Yep, she had her pick. I'm guessing she waited till the very end of the day.
She did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and she looked at your dad and she goes, so, are you gonna buy me one of those cups?
So wait, he didn't pick. She picked, right?
She picked.
Okay,
but he bought it.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Well, nice. She did, but he did.
Same thing.
Same.
Yeah.
How did you do?
I sold really well. My Square report is taking forever to load. I'm trying to see how much I actually sold. I think it was 1,400.
Nice.
Yeah. Net was 1,400. So yeah, pretty good. I think last year I sold. Let's see, what was it last year? Scrolling. I think it was like. I don't think I broke 1,000. Let's see. Last year was 806. Dang. So 1,400 to 806 to 1,400.
Nice. I made in Square. I made $180. But we counted it up, and over cash and Square and Venmo, I made about $600. We think, and I made $600, but I also made the trade of the century.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about what you got?
I got a handmade leather apron,
and
I traded it for 9 cups.
And you probably would have given away more than 9 cups for that.
I would have.
You're traded more than 9 cups for that.
You know, actually, that wasn't the best trade I've ever done. The best. Do you trade at all? Do you trade very much?
Not much. I mean, who initiated Who initiated that trade? Was it you or?
Well, she came over, Patty came over, and she was looking at all the stuff. She's like, I love these so much. She goes, I think I'm going to buy some. And I go, we could trade too. And she looked at me and she was like, oh, yes. And I was like, but your stuff is more expensive, so I'm willing to like pay some money if you want, half trade, half money, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you go over there and look. And she was so nice. She's so nice.
Yeah.
And I think I found the cheapest expensive thing, which was an apron. I had been eyeing those aprons anyway.
Yeah. They look really nice.
Yeah, and
you had a good selection of them too. I think there were 4 different ones or something to pick from.
Yeah, Bob and Oscar Leather Goods. Look them up. Right? Bob and Oscar.
I think the company name is Bob and Oscar USA.
Bob and Oscar USA, yeah.
On Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, he makes all of them. I was curious how that worked. If I know she probably does more of the business stuff and all that, but like with her helping him with the business versus like him being the maker of it, or if he doesn't care as much about the money side of it.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm trading away this thing that I made versus like she's getting something, but they're married. So.
She definitely was like, I have to ask my husband if he's okay with trading these.
Right.
So. But yeah, the best trade that I've ever done though, by far, was like 4 years ago at Art in the Park. There was this glass artist, and I used to stay at her house sometimes, and she had this mid-century modern chair, and it was from Sweden. And I traded her. I remember the first time I ever went to her house, I saw the chair was in her front room, and I was like, can I sit in this chair? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, none of my kids like it. Fred hates it, her husband. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I was like, if you ever get rid of it, I will take it. And she was moving, and she goes, Becca, I'll tell you what, I'd really love to give you this chair, and I really want some mugs. Will you make me some mugs? I made her 8 mugs.
Oh my gosh.
For a chair that when I got it home, we found the tag and it's valued at like $3,200.
Holy shit. That is a trade. So do you still have the chair?
I do not have the chair. However, a friend has the chair and I have first right of refusal if he ever gets rid of it.
Did you just not, you couldn't move it, or
when I
wouldn't fit with a move, or what?
When I moved out of my house, I didn't have a space to put it. And so I let a friend indefinitely borrow it, essentially, who I knew would love it.
So you still technically own it?
Technically, I still own it, I suppose.
Like, do you wish you had it in your apartment right now? Would it fit nicely in your apartment?
It would fit wonderfully in my
Oh. You should have been like, you know what, before I leave Washington, there's one request.
I almost did.
I need that chair.
It was very close. But I have another chair, and what was really cool about this chair is that it's a high back chair, and it's a recliner. It's like super sleek, and it's like the weirdest recliner ever. It's so cool. It's so cool. But she reupholstered it. She like reupholstered it, and the reupholstery was terrible. So so it was like striped green. So, like, I would have reupholstered it anyway, and my friend has talked about it, like, turning it into, like, a mustard yellow, and I was like, yes, please. Wow. But, yeah, that was the best trade I've ever done.
That's pretty great.
And it was more of, like, a love trade, She knew that I loved that chair.
Yeah. She knew you were going to love it more than
and I do. And I still do. And the person that has it loves it just as much as I do.
Nice. Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't really trade a lot. I usually let them initiate it. I feel a little icky sometimes asking to trade because I can afford to pay for stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if I can afford it, it feels a little bit like I'm a cheap ass, which I am. But
you are. But sometimes trading is fun.
Yeah,
like it's fun. I
usually only trade with other potters though.
Yeah.
Not that just because I don't know. I don't. Like, we share a connection of like what goes into the process, so we're kind of trading the similar level of effort sometimes versus like I don't really know what goes into printmaking, so like I mean I don't know what went into all that work to do that linoleum cut that I thought was really cool.
Totally.
And, like, I mean, I would be fine with it if they initiated it, if we both liked each other's stuff. And also, I would feel a little bit weird if like Rachel really liked something and they wanted to trade, and like I traded my pottery for like a purse that Rachel was gonna get. That would feel a little bit weird. That's why I was asking about the like trading an apron that he made for cups that she's
totally.
gonna get his wife. But
she definitely asked.
Yeah.
So and she got the cups for the purpose of like having them as gifts for like Christmas. So I mean, 9 cups, 9. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a good. And they're all different colors and stuff, so she can pick and choose. And
yeah. So.
Yeah, so good show. I've got a sigh of relief that it's over, because it's just all this work building up to it. It happens. That day felt like it was forever. I feel like I was going from. I started at like 6:45 in the morning and then didn't get done packing up until, I don't know, what was that, like 6 maybe?
Yeah.
Like it felt like forever. I mean, I was kind of the last one packed up, but that was just because I was kind of hanging out a little bit at the end. But, whew.
I know, like I was sleeping downstairs and you like barreled downstairs to take a shower at like 6:30, and I was like, holy cow, he's up so early.
I could not sleep. I got like 3 good hours of sleep.
I mean, I probably got the same amount of sleep, but that's just because I went to sleep really late.
Yeah. I'm not typically a toss and turner and like things running through my mind. I guess it's because I typically watch a show for 20 minutes and it like empties my brain of just things to worry about.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I've tired myself out, and then I'm just going to go. But I had other stuff I was thinking about. I'm like, okay, I got to get up this early because people could get here, and then I got to make sure I do the live video on Facebook and the live video on Instagram, and I got to find time to set my booth up and make sure the Kona ice truck has space to get there, and all that. Yeah, all the things that go across when you're selling in a show and you're organizing the show. It's like, oh. But
come to think of it, I traded with almost everybody there.
Really?
A lot of them. At least 4.
At least 4. And there were 10 there total, including yourself.
And you, and I would never trade with you. And I was one of them,
yeah.
Or Rachel. I wouldn't trade with Rachel. Or Rachel's dad.
So you trade with basically everybody but yourself, me, Rachel, and Rachel's dad. Nice.
Yeah. And I didn't trade with the lady that was selling all the fur stuff.
The fiber stuff.
Or Kylie, because I feel like...
So then you only traded with 3 people.
Traded with 4 people. I traded with the wood people, Matt and Sarah, and I traded with Amruta, and then I traded with...
Darty,
and then I traded with...
Bob and Oscar.
Yeah, Bob and Oscar.
Okay, I guess that was 4. She just stuck her tongue out at me for those listening.
Okay, so, wait. What are we doing? Oh, I found a listener question, but you were going to read...
Yeah, so I picked out some stuff from the survey that we sent out a long time ago. I don't even remember when we actually sent this out, but we had people fill out a survey. And then there was a question on here, just for fun, if you had anything... If you could have us say anything anonymously on the podcast, what would it be? So I picked out a couple that I think are kind of funny, or just one of them's kind of nice, and then the other one's funny. So the first one is, I wish for everyone to be their true and authentic selves. Speak your real truth no matter any outside influence. I believe this will lead to a better world.
That is nice. That's like so sweet.
No phonies up in here.
No phonies.
And then the other one is funny. It says, for all the video makers, I'm here for pottery. I don't need your nipples in the frame. Put on a shirt or something. Oh, that's great.
I don't need your nipples in the frame. Oh my God. We provide nippleless pottery. Oh, that's great.
I won't even wear tank tops. I'm like, no. I was freaking packing up for the show, and you were like, "How are you not hot?" And like, I was sweating because I was like wearing this button-up shirt, and
It was
Becca's
super
like,
hot.
it was like 90 or something. I was pretty hot. Becca's like, if I were a guy, I would have taken my shirt off way long ago. I'm like, I'm not like take my shirt on a guy, so like, I'm just gonna sweat, and we'll be good. I got a cloth here to wipe my brow.
Your dad was like, I fucking take my shirt off when it's 50 degrees outside and I have to mow the lawn. I was like, yeah, you do, Carl. Yeah, you do. How you came from Carl, I have no idea.
I need some more Carlos critiques in the hopper. I don't have any.
No.
Should have got some this weekend.
Okay, I also have a question. A short question. What's the biggest mistake you have made that ended up being your best success by accident?
All right, I'll just choose an easy one because it's kind of recent and relevant. It wasn't exactly my mistake, but I kind of take it as my mistake. So my assistant last year glazed something with the wrong glaze combo, and it turned out to be really cool. So I usually jot down the glazes with a pencil on the cups and whatever, and there was a misreading of a JG for Joe's Green for a JT, which is Juicy Turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
So it got glazed with the wrong combo with Juicy Turquoise and then Floating Blue, and it came out pretty cool. So I started
and now
using
that's one of your more popular glazes?
I mean, it's like up and coming. Like blues and greens always do well. So yeah. Joe's Green and Floating Blue are a better combo that sell better, but the Juicy Turquoise is like, it's slowly working its way.
Yeah.
So it's like a fun happenstance that I would not, because I've done all the glaze combos with the test tiles and stuff, but I rarely go into those test tiles at this point and say, you know what, I just feel like finding a new glaze combo and like phasing one out. So
yeah,
that's it's kind of a way to force me into something that I didn't plan for, and then it's like, let's roll with it. But I tend to not like get rid of glaze combos, which I should probably do more research and like phase some out so it saves me some work down the road. But
yeah,
slowly.
Yeah, mine's pretty much this. It's the same, but not. Because it did involve somebody else. We're just gonna use employees as our mistakers.
Because we don't make mistakes.
We don't make mistakes. No. One of the people that was helping me accidentally put Cobalt in the recipe instead of copper, and it made the light blue glaze that I have.
Like a Cobalt oxide instead of a copper oxide, or Cobalt carbonate instead
Cobalt carb instead of copper.
Ooh, that's an expensive mistake.
Yeah, it kind of is. But it worked out really well.
Isn't Cobalt carb the kind that's like purpley when it's in raw form?
It's magenta.
Magenta, okay. And then the copper carb is bright green, like neon green.
No, it's like $40 a pound.
Yeah, that shit's expensive.
Especially if you get it from somebody who sources it ethically, you know.
We had a similar issue with, I think we had a similar one with Cobalt oxide versus copper oxide or something like that.
Yeah, so she accidentally put in Cobalt instead of copper, and it turned out to this beautiful, like, light blue. And it became one of my, like, best-selling colors. So
nice.
And I got rid of the dark Cobalt altogether. It was an expensive mistake, but also it ended up saving me a bunch of money because I was using so much Cobalt in my the blue glaze.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was just so one-dimensional. Like, you couldn't put anything over it. You could only put stuff under it. Like, you could only put it over something. And then, and so we used basically an eighth of the amount of Cobalt in the new glaze.
Is that because because there's something different between like a Cobalt oxide versus a Cobalt carbonate? Like one of them is stronger than the other?
I don't know.
And one of them's cheaper than the other.
That answer.
I think an oxide is less strong than a carbonate, or the other way. One of the two, and then like one of them costs more. So it's like, hey, if you can figure out the right percentages, then you could save money with a different colorant. Yeah, we had a similar mistake with my juicy turquoise. Got mixed up, and instead of using a green copper colorant, it was a cobalt colorant. I think it was cobalt oxide, which is black, instead of a copper carbonate or a copper oxide or something like that.
Okay, so cobalt oxide needs 1.5% of cobalt carbonate equivalent. So
use less of the oxide.
And you need more of the oxide.
More of the oxide, okay.
So 1.5 times more of the oxide than the carbonate.
Okay. And I would suspect that oxide is cheaper. Probably.
I've never used oxide. I've always used carbonate.
That's I'm a little bit curious of. I've never gone into this, but doing the whole like you've done this because you use the same base glaze for your old glazes. Like you would use the same base and then use the different colorants. Yeah. But I've never done that, so I just keep using the same exact glaze recipes that I have, and I just have more raw materials because I've never done that experimentation of like, I really like this base glaze. Let's see if I change this colorant and just see what happens. Because that's just going to throw all my other stuff out of whack. Or I'll just add another colorant to the mix, and I never get rid of an old glaze color.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what goes into that.
Okay, this is what Digital Fire says about Cobalt. Fuck, I lost it. Well, I lost it. You know what I hate is when Google like shows you a little snippet and you like click it, but then you never see that snippet ever again. You know what I'm talking about?
You mean when you go back to Google, or when you click into that link and you're like, oh, it's on this page somewhere. How do I find it?
That is like, how do you find it? Do you know how to find it?
Command F and then type in the string of what you're looking for.
Fine.
Go back to Google, see what the
I got it.
Series of okay. Jeez. There's some things that I just get used to using on a daily basis because I'm on the computer all day, every day, that I like Command C and Command V. Like I tell Rachel that, and she's like right clicking to copy and paste, and I'm like,
I do that, but
use the Command C and Command V.
Contains. I can't find it. It's not here. It's not fucking here.
It could be that it's hidden, or it's like you got to scroll down and it's like an infinite scroll and it keeps loading stuff. Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's all right.
This is dumb. Dumb.
We can move past it.
Can I just also say that Cobalt is like a base glaze? If you just have like a regular Cobalt glaze that's just like blue, is the most boring fucking glaze in the United States, in the whole world, in the whole fucking world. It is like the most boring ass predictable glaze on the planet.
I agree, but I do have a royal blue. I do have a royal blue, but it looks good with the white. Did you like that shot glass with the white with it? Like, does that look a little better?
No, like if you mix it with something, it's fine. But I'm saying like just blue. Like
even some floating blues that come out like bright blue, I'm like, there's not enough interest to it.
Yeah, it's just fucking easy. Blue. It's like it's just like, oh, okay, was that made in like 1950? Like I don't know. It's so bleh. I don't know.
I'm mixing up that royal blue again. Or yeah, my shiny blue glaze, and hopefully it'll be a little bit thinner than it is now because it's really thick. But we'll see. I hope it's a little bit more transparent because now it's really thick and there's like you can't see any texture through it.
Yeah, I picked up a shot glass of Ryan's and Okay, first of all, the shot glass looks like a first year student threw it because it's so thick. It's so thick that like
It's because the glaze is so thick.
Like the glaze occupies 2 times the width of the cup. It
Like
was
the
like
thickness of the cup,
thick.
the glaze on the inside and the outside is basically.
It was like a half-inch thick, and the glaze on the outside and the inside were like an eighth.
It is. And the glaze doesn't move. Like, it didn't run either, which is weird. It, like, barely ran, but it's not going to stick to the shelf.
It'll be good for Kurt's blob test.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Okay, so we should probably start talking. Where this is kind of just a bullshit episode, but like us bullshitting, not it being bullshit. I mean, it could be bullshit, but whatever. But we should talk about what we want to talk about today. I think it's going to be fun.
Which is what?
This is Joshua Himes' idea. I was talking to him before this podcast, and he said, pick your 3 most favoritist cups that you own that you did not make.
He said it in those words, right? 3 most favoritist cups.
He probably would have used correct grammar.
Yeah.
But and then tell us why you like them, what you may not like about them, how they look. I think it'll be a fun exercise on explaining how something looks without people seeing them.
Yes. I will be very descriptive. We're talking to the listeners out there. So.
Oh, and if you want, you can join our Patreon, and we'll put this up. We should put it up pretty soon. When
this video of this episode.
And then you could see the cups.
Yes, while we're talking through them.
While we're talking about them. So, I don't know what cups Ryan has. He knows what cups I have. So
I do. Mine's a secret.
Got a secret? Can you keep it going on?
Oh, I had news that I didn't share with you. I forgot.
What? What are you look?
No.
Did you kill somebody?
No. Yes, I'm talking about it on this podcast. No. I got a new iMac.
No, you didn't. Did you get orange?
I did not. I got a blue one.
Really?
I just ordered it this weekend. Yeah.
Well, is it going to be there before you guys?
No, it's going to be here the week after we get back.
Oh, okay.
I did get I did the student thing. If you get something from Apple now, they have like type in student discount or whatever. You just get it through their like education store. So I saved a little money. I still got the like Apple Care, but I also got a pair of the AirPod Pros.
Hey.
With discount. So I think it was like $90 for them instead of like $250. So I got the AirPod
Perfect.
Pros.
Good, because you need some new ones.
So we'll see how those go. Yeah, I was like the ones with just the charging case, and they're just like one level better. The battery's probably not going to be much better than what my existing ones are over like a year's time. So
I'm so proud of you.
So we'll get those here. We'll get that here in a couple weeks, and then hopefully we'll be recording all the future episodes on that device.
And we won't have to use the towel for the fan.
Yes. I assume that will have better ventilation.
I loved my iMac. Andrew has it now, but
yeah. So it's going to be super thin and nice. I wonder if I'll be able to use it. I wonder if I could use it on a daily basis with my MacBook Pro for work and use it as another monitor.
You can.
Okay.
I think you can. It's a little bit of a setup, but you can. Also, very portable. Surprisingly portable.
Yeah, it looks like as thin as an iPad.
Yeah, they're surprisingly portable. That is so exciting. Okay, now that nobody else cares about that probably but me, but okay, so we're gonna talk about our cups.
All right, who's starting?
You start.
All
I'm
right.
really excited.
Are we gonna switch off?
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. This is a mug made by Amelia Stamps. It is about 5 inches tall, 3.5 inches wide at the lip, and then with the handle, it's maybe 4 inches wide at the top with the handle. It's more of a tall cylinder shape, and it's kind of like a corset shape. Is that
It
how
looks
you
like
would
a cupcake. It looks like a decadent cupcake almost.
How would you explain the shape of the profile of it? I think it's considered a corset, where it's kind of belly, it's kind of choked in at the top, and then it's got like a waistline.
Yeah, like a hip.
And then it goes in narrower. The bottom is narrower than the top. Yeah. And then there's like a belly section, and it's like pushed in with probably like a wooden knife. And these little kind of bellied parts there.
We definitely for sure should actually put these pictures on our Instagram.
Oh, yeah, we'll put them in there when we actually
So we need to remember to take pictures at the end of this.
Yes.
And her Instagram is Amelia Stamps Pottery.
Yes. With an A. Amelia.
Yeah.
The glaze. Do you want me to talk about the glaze? It is actually, this glaze I think is in the Cone 6 John Britt book. It's like a green celadon on the bottom, which I really love celadons, and I believe it's a porcelain clay. So it's a white clay. The celadon looks really nice on it, the green. And then she has wax resisted dots on the top section.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe the purpley color is like a chameleon, I think is what it's called. But it's like a matte purple, which is really nice.
And the polka dots are shiny.
Yeah, so the wax kept the, celadon glossy and like shiny, and then when she dipped the matte glaze over it, it's, you got the dots of shiny in there. So, and then the green contrasts the purple nicely. So the inside's white, and the handle is
immaculate,
right to the top, to that middle kind of belly on there, and it's a nice, perfect 2-finger handle for me.
The handle is phenomenal. Is there a foot on it, or is it just a flat bottom?
It's a pretty flat bottom. It is pushed in a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, and then she signed it. It says, I want to say she just scribbled with like a pencil. It says Amelia.
Yeah.
So.
How much do you think it can hold? Probably like 12 ounces?
I'd 14? Say it probably holds 14.
14?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What's your favorite feature? What's your favorite feature about the cup?
The glaze. I like the celadon and the purple, because I don't really have any other glaze that's like purple. And I love matte glazes. So like it being purple, they contrast the green as well as the matte texture of it. Just makes it really nice.
Yeah.
So that's what, and it was also like, I think this was one of the first mugs that I actually purchased that was like from a professional.
Yeah.
That I like went through their selection and like picked out a mug and like bought it at a decent price. Like, I mean, this mug probably cost me like $45 or something when I first bought it, or $40. So it was like a big purchase for me, buying a mug for $40 when I did. So this was the first of probably 5 mugs of hers that I have.
Oh wow, you have 5 of them?
Not this exact mug, but 5
from her. That's
5
crazy.
different
That's
mugs
a lot.
from her. Yeah. So that's my first one. Did you talk? Is there anything you like or don't like about it?
Okay, so let me see the handle top. No, the top, the ribs. Okay, so that's the one thing I love.
That's the glaze, though.
Yeah, I love that. And the top of the handle. It's
actually really smooth.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So
that's not texture that's the glaze.
Okay, so the top of the handle has, it's almost like stripes of glaze down it.
So close.
He's like, you're like a fucking cat. Like, look at me.
It does look like stripes, though.
It does look like stripes, and it's really pretty. And I am not as much a fan of green and purple together, those greens and purples together, but I could see why you'd like it a lot.
It's not doing it justice on the camera too. The light's
Right.
not the best, but maybe you'll see it in person. But yeah.
Yeah, but no, I do really like it a lot. I can
The
tell why that.
only Yeah, the
What's the
only
one thing you don't like about it? Let's talk about that.
the one thing I don't like is the white inside. Because over time I have used it, and with tea, it does stain it a little bit. Not that you can't get the stain out because you just do the baking soda and hot water kind of thing. That's probably the one thing that I don't like as much about it, because it's just a clear glaze inside.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like it would look nicer if it was just the green Celadon inside.
The green Celadon would be good, but I would imagine that she didn't do the green Celadon on the inside because green Celadon has a tendency to crackle. So.
Ooh. Yeah, it did run a little bit on the inside lip, but I don't see any crazing or anything, so.
Yeah. Also, for people who don't know, because you mentioned this and I thought we should maybe say it, if you have staining in your teacups, you can get the stains out with just some hot water and some baking soda. Works real well.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke.
And then maybe the signature could be a little bit cleaner instead of just writing it with like a dull pencil. But
minor details.
That's very picky.
That's like being as picky as you could be.
If I had to pick anything, it would be the white inside and the pencil bottom.
Okay.
All right. What you got?
Okay, so I have this Andrew Linderman cup that I got like a couple months ago. And it's a wood-fired cup.
Is it considered a tea bowl?
No, it's a cup.
It's a cup? I thought
it's
that was
tiny.
A tea bowl. I thought that was considered a tea bowl.
It's tiny though. It's like.
What's a tea bowl have to do with the tiny? I thought the proportions of it and the form mean it's. I thought that made it a tea bowl.
Should I text Andrew and ask him?
It looks kind of like a Truhn to me, which is where it's like shorter and stouter.
Okay, well it's about 8 ounces.
Okay.
I can put
maybe
one.
Like a sipper.
I can put 1 can of Bev in here and it fills it right to the brim.
Nice.
Okay, so it's wood fired. It's faceted. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 facets on it, and they angle up the cup. And what I love about it is that there's the bottom. So every single facet has like a different picture on it, essentially. And
yeah.
It's got just so much variety within the cup. And then the inside, a lot of the wood some of the wood ash like got right on the rim and went down. And the rest of it's just like white. And then the bottom, he does this weird, cool little, to make the foot, he carves 6 little triangles out to match the facets, which is really fucking cool. And then he puts his little stamp on there. It's half glazed, so like it's half shiny and half matte. There's a little Shino, and I believe that he fired it sideways.
Oh, that's why it's so glossy on the foot.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
It's glossy on the foot.
You can't see the wad mark on the bottom.
Yeah, it's
the
glossy
wad's
on the foot
side.
because the wad mark is on the side.
Single wad.
Yeah, and it's got a nice Shino glaze on there. It's orange on one side. It flashes orange and white on one side, and then it goes to gray, and then it goes to like a dark wood ash.
Wait, is it a Shino glaze, or is that just raw?
Maybe it's just. I thought that this is a Shino. I think that this is like a dark.
I think that's just the glass. I don't know. I mean, looking at because how does it look like that, like raw clay, where the next to the wad? How would he glaze the whole thing and then put a wad over the glazed part? I think that's just.
No, he put the wad here and then it was glazed right here. He put the wad here.
I know, but you're saying he painted glazes on all the sides except for the wad sides?
I don't know. I feel like I need to call him.
What's the inside look like? Does it have glaze on the inside?
Yeah, it's glazed.
That's probably a Shino in there.
Yeah. But that glaze scoots over the rim and down the side. Well, I still think it's glazed.
I don't know. Maybe it's a flashing slip.
I think it's glazed, and then he like wiped it off where the wad was.
I don't know. I think it's raw except for the inside, personally. But
I don't.
have you wood fired a lot?
No.
We'll have to ask him. I do like the picture aspect of it. I didn't really think about that, but the facets are a great way to catch the glaze and catch the ash.
Like every facet has a different. His Instagram is Andrew Linderman Pottery, and anyway, it's about 8 ounces, and what I love about it is that it's oval. It's like it's not circular because it was on its side, so it slumped a little bit, and I love it. It fits my hand perfectly like that. It would be too big if it was the other way. So it fits it perfectly, and it's just so beautiful and so like organic and so interesting and so little. And I like little things, little cups. So he's improved tenfold since I met him for the first time.
What would you not, if you had to pick anything about it that you didn't like, what would you pick?
In the footing area, it's a little harsh. They're like the angles, like where he cut out this like little star pattern to match the I lost the word.
To match the facets.
Match the facets. And where he cut out, I wish that he would have maybe ran that over with a sponge a little bit more.
Yeah, just at the corners of those?
Yeah, just at the corners.
How is it with because it's actually got the wood ash and stuff on there, so yeah it kind of sharpened it a little bit. It didn't really soften it.
And I don't know if you could do that with just a sandpaper afterwards or not. I mean, I love it regardless, so it doesn't matter. But it's super soft on the bottom, but that would be my only complaint, I think.
Yeah, it does get tough with the wood-fired stuff to like sand it, but not over sand it once you get it out, because they're kind of crusty and like there's a lot of refinement you have to do once they're out of the kiln and ready to go. There's a lot of cleanup work with those kind of cups and pots.
Yeah. I just love how organic this cup is. Just fucking everything. And I remember I saw it online and I was like, fuck, I already have Andrew Linderman's stuff. But I have one of his wood-fired.
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I have one of his wood-fired plates and it's the shit. And and I was like, okay, well, I guess. And then when he sent me this, he actually sent me a housewarming gift, and it's a utensil holder that has ears. It's blue. Oh. It's blue and it has 2 like half domes on it, and I love it.
How is the foot of the plate done? So he does the feet of the cups with that kind of faceted star pattern. Foot. It's a regular foot. See, I wonder what those cups would look like with a regular foot. That's the only thing that I'm indifferent about with that cup that you just showed was the foot, like you said, that the star pattern. I wonder if it was not flat, if it had a little like
a foot.
A foot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it had a foot, it would feel so normal.
Or maybe if it had a foot and then he faceted that foot on the outside part of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Because the facets are kind of curved, but I wonder if you'd have to leave it nice and thick, though.
What if you, like, cut it out as a facet, like, going out as a triangle?
Mm-hmm. Which a lot of T-bowls are kind of like that, where they kind of organically cut it away.
Yeah. I don't know if he was looking for a T-bowl. I think it was called a sipper.
A sipper, yeah.
Sipper.
I just think of the proportions kind of remind me of a T-bowl with that like cut back at the waistline. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of a T-bowl.
I tried to facet at Clay Con West last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. I was terrible. Okay, what's your next one? This is fun.
All right.
I hope you guys are having as fun as we are.
My next one is this large mug from Tara Underwood.
Okay.
Tara. We got this in Asheville, North Carolina when we visited there in 2020, I believe. Mm-hmm. and it's a really big mug. The main reason I like it, it's a it looks like it's like a red. Let's see, the clay. I want to say the clay is like a red stoneware with like a little bit of grit, a little bit of grog in there, maybe.
Like an Oregon red, yeah.
Like white grog. So yeah, it is. It's got like a. I think this might also be considered like a corset at the top.
Yeah, you're really digging those corsets.
Yeah, with the wider, and then it goes in, and then it comes back out, and then
this one's like a fat lady corset, whereas the other one's like a skinny lady corset.
Yeah, this has a sharp cutback to the base, and it is black on the bottom edge, and then when it hits that apex point and goes back to the top, it's like a Terra Sigillata matte white.
Yeah.
Kind of like a whitewashed fence.
Very rustic looking.
And then you can kind of see some of that red coming through there. But there's also like fingerprints, like it was thrown, and then there was like fingerprints pushed into the outside. Maybe the Terra Sigillata was applied with fingerprints, or maybe the Tara Sigillata was painted on and then fingerprinted.
Who did you say this was?
Tara Underwood.
Tara Underwood.
Tara.
Okay.
And then I think the main thing that like drew me to it, besides the contrasting like white and black, is the handle, because it's like a super interesting handle. I think you saw this before, right?
Yeah, it is a super interesting handle. It reminds me of bamboo.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think it is hand built. And then it's got this like hollow kind of bulb on the inside part of the handle.
For like an ergonomic.
So you can kind of like fit your two fingers on the top and bottom of the bulge, and then the bulge is kind of like right in the middle of your two fingers. So it is a little bit awkward, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like just so interesting with this like extra kind of ball on the inside here.
It looks like a little pimple.
Yeah. And then the inside is black. I believe it's just an Amico black glaze, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it kind of reminds me of like Cosmic Tita, sort of. Which is one of the black, or maybe it's just a glossy black glaze, but it's really nice. And then the lip is actually unglazed, where there's still a little bit of like sheen from the Terra Sigillata. But yeah, it's got that matte and then the glossy and then the contrasting colors. So
I like it.
Yeah, the one negative I would say is just the handle's a little bit awkward, but it's a good 2-finger handle.
I bet my hand would fit in it better than yours.
And it's like, but if it was, and then the size is just like really large. Like this probably holds 16 ounces.
Yeah, it's big.
So it gets a little, like if the handle was more comfortable, it would get a little bit weird with it being like full.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really nice though. Yeah, so that's that mug.
Yeah, I like that one. It's very simple. It's a very simple mug.
Yeah.
And it's elegant. Like simple is understated, I feel.
Yeah, and I think she had some other ones that were just like this white all the way over, and maybe there was, there wasn't the black contrasting it as much, but I like the black contrast. The handle is black too, so it contrasts the white side with the black handle and then the black bottom edge. So yeah. So that's the Tara Underwood. We got that at I'm trying to remember. It's at one of the like studios there in Asheville. That's a small studio that has like 6 makers in it. I'm gonna say it's in that art district. I'll find it. It's in the River Arts District. It's not Odyssey Center. We also got another one from Pinto Pottery there too. Clay Space Co-op.
Clay Space Co-op.
That's where I got it from. Which is in the River Arts District of Asheville. Not too far from Odyssey Clay Works.
Nice.
Which also had good stuff. I got something there too.
Nice.
Go to Asheville if you like the pottery.
Never been there, but someday I'll go.
It's nice in the mountains and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, my turn.
Is there anything you didn't like about that one?
No. I mean, yeah, maybe the handle could be a bit taller. Like a little bit more space.
Taller,
for,
like
yeah,
span from the top to the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to fit 3 fingers in it then, maybe.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm a fan. Okie doke. My next one is Amy's.
From? You're trying to say it right. Pine
Zen Pottery. I always say it wrong.
You always say Pine or something like that.
Yeah. Pine Zen Pottery. Okay, so this is Amy Brumond. And I bought this at it was a Indiegogo auction thing.
Oh, what was she raising money for?
I believe it was for
Kiln or
no, it was for Michael.
Oh, it was a fundraiser for somebody else that she donated for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this mug is hand built, and it is rainbow. So
yes.
Obviously,
very strategic rainbow.
A very strategic rainbow. Okay, so it's hand built. It's got a it's a red, like a lighter red clay. It looks like kind of like an earthenware, but it is cone 5. And
red nice.
The bottom, it's a wide base, and then it kind of curves up like kind of like a waist, but not like a hard curve. It's a very soft curve.
It's like a very upright volcano, like the subtlest volcano.
It's like an upright volcano. And then the rainbow goes around diagonally. So there's little tiny square stamps that have little angles in them, and they're all the way around the mug. And the yellow goes at a diagonal all the way down the mug, and then it goes to green, and then blue, and then purple, and then red, and then orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Indigo purple.
So is each color on there twice all the way around?
Trice.
3 times, okay.
Actually, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5? The red is on there 5 times, but it's only like 3 on the other sides. So, first of all, I feel like hand-built mugs are like supremely underrated.
They're usually so thin and light.
I know. Okay, so this mug is like so light. Like legit. I didn't use mugs until I got this mug. Like really.
Really? Do you mean like you drank stuff out of cups without handles? Is that what you consider a mug?
No, I just feel like it's made me start drinking tea more.
Oh, okay. Out of a handmade mug.
So okay. So then it gets to the top. It's hand built from a slab, and then it has a line under the handle where it's joined. You can see where it's joined. It's a nice joint, and then the handle itself is raw clay, and it's phenomenal. Like,
does it seem like it's like sanded or? It's
so smooth. It's like so smooth. And then the inside is a green. And then what I also love is like right at the handle, there's the joint right there. It comes up a little bit and it makes a little point. So the inside is a green glaze. Nice. Like.
Is it like an emerald green?
Yeah, it's like a tree green.
Is there some variation in it or is it just
a little bit? Yeah. There's like some.
Can't tell on the camera.
Yeah, and it like where it pools, it gets a little darker. The inside, the bottom pumps in a little bit. It's so freaking soft. It's like super smooth. And she has her nice little stamp. PZP.
I like that stamp.
Yeah, it's a cool stamp.
Plus, it's got some color in there too.
Yeah, she put some black in there, or the green or whatever. And it's just a really light cup. It's very thin on the rim, which makes it feel like you're drinking out of glass instead of pottery. It's just, you can tell.
How much does it hold?
Oh, I would say probably 14 to 16.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You can tell that she really cares about it. I fucking love this cup so much.
How do you think the handle was built? Is it a hand built or was it like pulled, you think?
I think it was hand built. No, I think it's pulled. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's got a nice like small attachment at the top. I think it's pulled and then cut and then attached.
Yeah. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, it's nice.
So good.
Is it thinner at the top of the handle?
Yes.
And then it's thicker at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's just so nice to hold, and it's
nice.
It's fabulous. It's just fabulous.
Is there anything you don't like about that mug? If you had to be picky.
Charles.
Third host.
Third
What's
host.
your piece?
Anything I don't like about the mug? No. I'm not like a huge fan of green, so I would probably choose white or black to be on the inside.
Ooh, you know what I was thinking when you were showing me the inside? I was like, I wonder what that would look like if it was just white, like not like bright white, but like an off white or like a like a
yellow white,
like semi matte white or something. Or...
yeah. I wouldn't mind yellow, but also like I think that I would
super
probably
shiny, but
I'd probably go with like a white or a black on the inside as opposed to a green.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like a personal preference, you know?
Yeah. And some of hers have like blues on the inside, or I think it's usually one solid color. It's not a lot of like two different glazes or anything like that.
Mm. And she just bought one of my cups today.
Yeah.
I'm excited for her to get it.
Yeah, maybe we'll chat with her at some point.
I hope so.
All right.
Yeah, we can talk about carpal tunnel with her.
My third cup.
Ew,
that swam into frame. This is actually a hand-built cup as well.
Oh, exciting.
So
tell us about it.
This was made by Pinto Pottery in Jamaica.
Oh.
So this is more of a sentimental cup, but also I really like it. So we got this at the airport when we were leaving our honeymoon to come back home. They had a little pottery. Well, they had a shop that was selling goods, and they had some pottery in there. You froze for a second. You froze for a second. You're back. Okay.
He does have an Instagram. It's Pinto Pottery.
Yes. I believe his first name is David, maybe? David Pinto?
David Pinto, yes.
Yeah. So he was not there. It was just like an airport shop. But they had some gifts and whatnot. And I think they just had a few pieces of pottery, and he had his work there. There might have been one other potter's work in there. But it's, it was one of those like memories of right after we got married kind of thing. So it is hand built as well. It is a speckled clay, kind of like I don't know. It's like what do you call that? It's like a light speck and a dark speck kind of together.
That's a stoneware. That's just a stoneware.
It's just a stoneware. Okay.
It's just like a rough stoneware.
Okay. It's just because it was gas fired that it looks a little bit fancier. So yeah, and then it's got a peach chino on the outside. So it's kind of got those like light white tones and then the peach tones, like a peach to red chino. I just love chinos. So, I'm a sucker for that. And then it's got this like wood ash kind of sprayed on the one side of it.
Yeah.
Gas fired. And it's got these it's slab built, and then it was like there's probably something rolled over it, so it's got these like line marks that are pushed outward in like 3 lines on the outside that go all the way around, and then there's little like dimples that come out and kind of catch the texture a little bit. And then it was joined right there where the handle is, and the handle's a nice like 2-finger handle. It was probably pulled. It like goes attached on the inside, and then it goes up and then down. instead of like out and then down. So I kind of like that. It's a good 2-finger handle. I'm definitely a 2-finger fan.
Clearly.
Kind of my favorite mug handle. And then the inside's just kind of a lot of the same. The peach to red chino. It's a lot more white on the inside. But yeah, the chino is just really nice.
It kind of reminds me of like a dryer hose.
Oh yeah, where
it's like crinkled.
Yeah, I can see that. Like the
kind
of the side of it.
Yeah.
Where it's got those like metal rings on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That is what it reminds me of. And then I can see his like finger marks where he was holding the glaze, which actually I do that with mine. That might have influenced me a little bit of showing that, but yeah, he's got the finger marks where he gripped it and then dipped it in the glaze. So, yeah. That's that mug.
It's
the only thing I don't like, I guess, is the bottom. I can't really read his stamp that well. But it is like pushed in a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Is it smooth?
It's fairly smooth. I mean, it was a slab attached to the bottom, so it's not like the smoothest, but it's good enough.
I don't know. Amy's is a slab attached to the bottom, and it's the smoothest.
Oh yeah, I mean, hers is a cleaner clay. Like it looks like it was probably. And this is gas fired, so he didn't put like a sanding disc or anything on this.
Probably before sanding discs got popular.
Yeah, this was bought in 2015.
Yeah. So. I love that you guys, like, I think that it's funny that both of us chose our last ones from mostly memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you chose that one because that was right after you got married, and I chose this one because I love the story.
I mean, I think that, I mean, I also like the hand-built nature of it, but yeah, it's a sentimental thing for sure. And I think I mentioned that that's my favorite, like, piece that I have.
Yeah.
For those reasons, so.
Yeah. Okay, so mine is this is the original TPG.
The original TPG.
The original tiny perfect garbage mug. And it's 8 ounces to the T. 8 ounces to the T. It is made by Victoria Truhn, who is, her Instagram is Tried and Truhn. And I don't know if she's really doing much more pottery because she
is a new mother.
Is she preggo still, or does she have a kid?
She is officially a mother.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's been. I think she's already been born for like 3 months or a month or something.
Oh yeah, because she like was totally absent, and yeah, okay. She goes, "Hey, it's me. I've been off of Instagram for about 3 months, and quite frankly, forgot to come back and give a life update."
Yep,
while she's holding a child. Anyway, yes, she is with child now. And so about 2 years ago, she had a
with child when they're pregnant. I don't think you say with child after they've had the baby.
She has a child with her in the picture.
Okay.
You know.
She has a child. Anyways.
Hi, Victoria. Anyway, so this is my favorite, and there's multiple reasons. Okay, she had a second sale 2 years ago, and I saw this cup, and I was like, that's mine. That is mine. The reason it's a second is because on the bottom, she glazed the inside, like a little rim of her foot, and it stuck to the kiln. So she sanded it down, and you can't even, it just looks weird.
Was it thin? So it sagged a little bit, or?
I don't think it's that thin. It's just, she just shouldn't have glazed the inside.
That's why I'm always iffy to glaze the insides of like bowls and stuff like that.
I don't glaze the inside. So, okay, so it's 8 ounces. It's got texture all the way around the cup, on the bottom 2/3 of the cup. So,
I love that texture.
Yeah, she cut out 2 notches down. The top row is short notches and the bottom row is long notches. And then the top is smooth, and the glaze goes from a brown to a white to a blue, and it's beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's nice.
Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And the inside it's that same kind of like glaze combo. The blue is on the inside. You can tell that she like dipped it in the brown and the white. And it runs down the edges a little bit.
So it's probably entirely dipped in blue, and then she dipped the top inch in that white, second color.
Yeah. I don't know if it has 2 colors or 3 colors on it, but they're very runny, very beautiful. The handle's nice. The handle is what really sold this.
The handle looks perfect.
The handle is
the
so
size of it
fucking comfortable.
Nice.
It is so fucking comfortable. It's like for my fingers, I don't know if it would fit your fingers, but for my fingers, it is so fucking comfortable. It goes up at a sharp curve and then comes down flat and then scoots in, so it looks like a
if it didn't keep going outward there before it jumps back, that would be too small. Put your fingers in there. I think that would fit. I think that would fit my 2 fingers okay.
It might.
And then I feel like the balance is really nice too, right?
Yeah, it's great. So, it's the most comfortable handle I have ever held. It's tiny and it's perfect. Like I said, it's 8 ounces, so I love like drinking tea out of it because then you have to like refill it. It makes you feel accomplished. And okay, so the story behind it, I've said it a few times, but the story behind it is when I told her that I wanted it, she goes, "It's garbage." And I was like, "It's not garbage, Victoria." And so then I got it in the mail, and on a card, she sent me the cup, and then she put a card on the top, and all the card said was garbage. And I was like, "It's not garbage." And so then I posted a picture on Instagram, and Marisa brought in peppermint tea that night, and we had peppermint tea, and I had it in my new Victoria Truhn cup, and I posted it, and I said, "It's tiny, perfect garbage." And thus, the TPG mug was born.
Nice. Does it have something stamped on the bottom?
Oh, yeah. It's got a name stamped on the bottom. Tried and Truhn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw something stamped. I didn't know if that was a saying or something. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of her branding.
The thing that I would say that I don't like about it, I guess, is the glaze defect on the bottom, but that's exactly why I got it. So, I mean, I literally can't tell you a single thing I hate about this cup.
Yeah. And you probably paid the least compared to the other cups that you have.
I think I paid like $10 for it.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a great little mug.
Yeah, I tried to copy it. Like, not with the glazes. I tried to copy that handle. Can't do it. Can't fucking do it.
Do you know how she makes the handle? Is it pulled off the mug, or is it pulled separately, cut, and then attached?
I think it's pulled separately and then attached. It's very similar to a Melissa,
Maya?
Those handles, that Melissa makes.
Yeah. Are you talking about the shape of it?
Yeah, the shape.
Like it goes like slightly up and then has like kind of comes straight down and then it goes in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very similar to that. But yeah, I seriously, if it ever breaks, I'm gonna fucking cry. Let's just say that.
What do you typically look for when you're getting like a mug or a pot? Like what are the must-haves?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you know the answer to that?
Mine is 2-finger, 3-finger handle. Unless the overall like design of it is just so overwhelmingly like perfect or beautiful or something that I don't have, I'll go for a 1-finger handle or a really gigantic handle, but I'm in that 2-finger, 3-finger range. Like if you're gonna get me in the 2-finger, 3-finger range handle.
Yeah,
that's a must-have for me.
I feel
to
like
start.
Charles. I feel.
Want some airtime?
I know, seriously. I feel like I don't buy mugs anymore. Really.
When you did buy mugs, if you were buying a mug and it had to knock you off your feet, what would it have to have?
A good handle. It has to have a good handle. It doesn't have to be 2-finger, 1-finger, 4-finger, or whatever, but it has to have a good handle. Mm-hmm. Like, it has to look comfortable at least and be thin. I can't stand the wide. If it's wide, I will not buy a mug with a wide handle.
When you say wide, are you talking about?
I'm talking about width,
side to side.
Side to side, not
like to wrap
depth.
Your fingers around it.
Yeah. So it's got to be a skinnier, less than an inch, probably like 3/4 of an inch. And I mean, it's got to be like a good, it has to have good design too.
Do you typically go for things that have like exterior design to them versus getting something for a beautiful just glaze?
Yeah, like now I do. It's either got to be like wood fired, like atmospherically fired, or have a really nice design.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also don't buy cups and mugs very much anymore either. I'm actually pretty much done buying pottery. I know that sounds terrible, but like my cabinets are full. I have no more space.
Are you getting rid of old pottery that you might have got at a point in your life and you're like, you know what? It's time to just let that go.
I did get rid of a few of them, yeah.
Is it some of your old work that you've kept around that were seconds that you used that you got rid of, or was it like other people's that you kind of like, okay, I bought that at a time because it was cheap and it was like a discounted piece, and then you're like, I got my use out of it, but now that I have all these other ones, like, it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, you probably don't get rid of anything, right? Because you have those racks.
I mean, the racks are full at this point, so I'm kind of getting to that point. That's how I'm making my decisions of, I probably do need to like donate some pieces of like, you know what? I probably did buy that on a buy it now table for $5. It was a steal and it was a good quality piece, but in relation to the other things that I have, there's sometimes things just don't set themselves apart enough because I have no connection with the maker. If I just buy them at a show and I don't interact with the maker, they don't rate as high on my list.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if it's a beautiful piece, if I can't talk to the maker and I just buy it, like, yeah. It's just
I would say that like almost every piece of pottery that I have has a story, Like, it wasn't purchased because it was beautiful. It was purchased because I know the person and it was beautiful,
Yeah.
And like I purchase a lot of plates and bowls and cups and stuff. Like I don't have any dishware that is the same. Well, neither do you. We both have very eclectic dishware.
Yeah, I mean we have some everyday kind of utility plastic stuff that are, Rachel has some that are like Pioneer Woman design plates that are plastic, but they're durable, that I'll use on a daily basis or semi-daily basis, because some of the things get clunky when you're trying to, like, we have stacks of like 12 ceramic bowls, and certain ones fit nicely inside each other, and then if you want to get one of them, you've got to take the whole stack of 6 out and like pick the one you want and like reconfigure and put them back in. So it is a little bit of a hurdle for some of the things like that.
Yeah.
To use them regularly, but I still use the handmade stuff quite a bit, especially bowls. I use a lot of handmade bowls like on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like probably this. Yeah. I have 2 plates that I personally made, but one of them wasn't painted by me. And 1 bowl that I made that's like perfect. But I don't have any
like a pasta bowl?
It's like a mini pasta bowl.
Mini pasta bowl.
It's like the perfect size.
Was it a sample? Like you didn't make enough production of it that it was?
I don't even know. It's just like a white bowl, like a mini shallow pasta bowl, and it's like the perfect size and the perfect everything. And it's beautiful.
What do you eat out of it?
Pasta.
Pasta. Okay.
It's just
Is
like
it
a smaller size, you know?
It's like a serving controlled size.
Yeah. Yeah. And and then I have some Hammerly pieces, but I know Hammerly, I talk to Kurt all the time, and then I have like Trevor Clayworks. I have I have, I have Isaac Shoes bowls, and like everything that I have isn't because it's, I mean, like, they are beautiful, but it's because I know them. And I every every time I go grocery shopping, I walk by the paper plates, and I'm like, oh, that would make my life so much easier. If I just ate on paper plates. And then I'm like, Becca, stop. You have all these beautiful dishware. And like I have 3 plates that I just recently got in California from Adewall.
You got 3 plates from that?
April Adewall, yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I got 4. I got
Okay.
3 small ones and then 1 larger like bowl plate because I love her like bowl plates that she makes. But I really needed just like tiny plates.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're hard to configure because they do all stack very specifically. So I completely understand that.
Yeah. And I mean, you probably dishwash them, right? You're not hand washing those, yeah.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, certain ones do fit in the dishwasher a certain way, so I'll pick and choose which bowls I use. Usually it's based on, like, I have 2 or 3 specific ones that are handmade that I'll use for, like, salad, because they fit the right amount of salad. And then, the other bowls, I'll use a lot of small bowls for, like, cutting up a piece of fruit, and I'll put fruit in that bowl because I don't like it on my plate and getting juices all over the plate because I reuse the plate. So, yeah, I would say the forms that I typically get now, I still get mugs every now and then, but it's most likely going to be like a cup or a tea bowl or something. And now I'm starting to look for, if it's tall enough, if it could be used for like a tiki mug, then we'll use it for that because we do use some, like we drink, tiki drinks like once a week probably, and it's fun to like throw different ones in there, and they hold more than just 10 ounces. It holds like 14 ounces or 16 ounces or whatever, and it's vertical, so it looks nicer, and you can get some use out of it besides just your tea or coffee or whatever. So
yeah, my stipulation is that I have to be able to use it. It has to be of use. So like that means no more cups, no more mugs, or very few, because I literally have enough that fit in the cabinet. And then I have a bunch that are on top of like a thing. Those are my cups that I'll probably never look at again. And but yeah, I have to be able to use it. And whatever that means, like it could mean like it holds Q-tips in my bathroom. That's fine. You know. But it has to be of use somewhere. Yeah.
Do you have like a travel tumbler or anything like that that's ceramic? You don't drink a lot of hot liquids, so I guess a travel tumbler is not really of use to you.
No, and plus I have this badass Hydro Flask water bottle that's watermelon colored.
Yeah. Do you put other stuff besides water in there, though?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like a travel with water kind of person, but the one thing I could use, like, I could use a travel tumbler, but I worry about the spillage factor and like breakage kind of. So I just use lids? Like, yeah, I mean, you just have those silicone lids or whatever that go on them, but those are kind of iffy sometimes. But I don't know. Like, I take them to art. Usually, the only times I use those is going to art shows.
Yeah.
But I just use plastic ones. Like, we have 2 or 3 plastic ones that I use. Like, I use a Tervis, like, Baker Hunt one that's got Baker Hunt that I got from them. And I like that one. And then the only other thing that I've been like scouting out that I have to find the perfect one is a teapot, because I use a teapot on a daily basis. That's
Yes,
what I
you
drink
do.
my tea out of. It holds like, I want to say it holds 16 ounces. Some of the teapots I've been eyeballing don't hold 16 ounces, so.
Oh my God, Andrew Linderman made this badass teapot a while ago, and Rebecca has it in her apartment.
And it also has to fit under the Keurig.
That's true.
So it's got to fit under the Keurig, so that means it can't really have like a handle that like arches over, because I'm not going to put it in something and then pour it into the teapot because it doesn't fit under the Keurig. So it has to almost have a handle on the side that's not obtrusive of the Keurig.
What about Tris Studios? Are those too small? Those are badass.
I don't like those as much. It has to have a handle.
Those are
They
so
don't.
cool.
They don't have a handle.
That's true. They don't have a handle. They're an odd. Tris Studios has it's like a teapot with teacup.
Yeah, I don't know what the style of that is, but it's more like it's kind of like a bowl, and then it's got a little spout on it.
And it's small. It's probably like 12 ounces.
The one I've been eyeballing is I want to say it's Ben Hill Pottery. You probably know who I'm talking about. His name's Will.
Ben Hill?
He does a lot of atmospheric stuff. I don't think he's going to listen to this, but... Oh, maybe it's not Ben Hill.
Derek Ben Hill?
No. Hold on, sorry. Bell Hill, sorry. Bell Hill.
Oh, okay.
Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
He's in Connecticut.
Oh, that's cool.
Those are pretty. The only negative, which I've asked him a couple times, they're too small. They hold like 6 ounces. And I'm like, that has no fucking use for me. But that has to do with the reason they're made is for the historic purposes of the ceremony, and it's not about quantity. You're not drinking tea out of that.
Yeah.
For every day. So, you know, if it's like an atmospheric teapot or a really cool design, there's another artist I was talking to that I might look up something. But yeah, if I find a good teapot, that's my next like big purchase that I would be willing to get. Because I would use it on a daily basis. That would be perfect. So.
Have you just done an Etsy search for teapots?
No, I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna do it.
No, if I'm gonna pay, I want to pay one time for a teapot, and I'm willing to fork out some money for that. Like I'll pay $150 or whatever for a teapot, but it's gotta be from somebody that I have a connection with. It's not just some rando off Etsy. I don't need it that bad.
I know, but it might give some ideas of what you're looking for. There's some pretty bomb-ass cool teapots on. I wonder if Rebecca knows anybody that makes cool teapots. I bet you she does. She knows everybody. So
there's some very specific things that I'm looking for, but I don't want to be that person that's like, I really like your teapots. Can you make me one that holds 16 ounces and blah, 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 and is this? And it goes against the reasons they make what they make. So I'm not going to do that.
I'll make you a teapot.
You'll make me a teapot? All right. I mean, I could make my own teapot, but I'm not as good with the spouts and stuff, so.
Yeah.
So that's my next big thing. But I am getting more into like buying hand-built stuff too sometimes. Do you ever buy anything that is clay that's decorative that you just like wall hangings or wall installation pieces or anything like that?
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, also I feel like I need to like redeem myself from the shitty cup talk last week. I just want to say that the lady that made those cups, they're fucking phenomenal. Like they aren't shitty. I hope you understand that when I say shitty, I mean that in the highest regard possible. It's like
you need a different acronym or a different.
I know.
Not acronym.
But
That's not the right word. You need a different synonym than shitty.
Story. I didn't tell my story why it's a shitty cup, right? Because see, I have a friend that's he's a hairstylist.
If you called it a basic cup or a simple cup.
No, basic cup is too basic. These are phenomenal. So, okay, so shitty cup literally comes from my friend is a hairstylist, and he used to cut hair. Like when he'd come to a friend's house, he would cut hair in the kitchen, and we called those shitty cuts. And they're like the best haircuts that you have because they're free, they're fun, there's alcohol involved, and they usually turn out great. And that's a shitty cut, right? Because it's just like
it's good for what you expected, or like it's better than you expected, or
and it's like with like just kitchen scissors, and and that's the context of a shitty cup. Okay, that's the context.
Is it like a pleasantly surprised? Is that a good?
Yeah, it's just like a no effort, beautiful item.
Yeah.
There's no effort and it's beautiful. Anyway, okay. So speaking of that, while I was getting 2 cups, I also saw this thing that was hanging up, and it's it's a cup that she smushed and put a face on, and now I have it hanging next to my door. And it's pretty.
So how is it hanging? It's
got a hole in the back.
Oh, okay. So it's a small.
But no. Oh my God, you have those like beautiful plates that are hanging on your walls. I don't have any decorative pottery. I'm not a decorative pottery sort. I do have one piece that I don't really have a use for, but I'm putting change in it right now. But that's a Danny Meisiger canister. But I don't know what to put into it other than change.
But you have about the plates on that plate wall?
Like the matte colored ones.
The matte color. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was thinking of the ones that were above the kitchen area, not the ones that are in the living room and stuff. Yeah, those were made by an Indiana potter. They are like sprayed underglaze.
They're cool.
In different colors, and he like stamped different shapes into them. So it's like a really beautiful, I don't know if it's slip textured, probably slip textured. And then they're like organic lips and stuff, and then he like stamps like squares and circles onto them, and then the way he sprays the glaze, it like breaks off of the texture.
Yeah.
But he actually passed away like 4 years ago or something like that. But he was local to Louisville, and I got one at a show like 6 years ago or something. That was my first one, and it was like a 9-inch plate. And then my mom found a couple at like Goodwill for like $10, and this plate was like double the size. It's probably like 16 inches in diameter, and she got it for like $10. And she found 2 of them, so those paired nicely. And then on a separate occasion, somebody else found 2 more at a Goodwill or something like that. So I now have 5 of them, and they're really beautiful. Nice. Yeah.
I wish you remembered his name.
I want to say it's like Jim Kent or something like that.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Oh, we'll know.
Oh, we'll know.
James Kent.
James Kent. Well, Jim would be the same thing, really. James Kent Pottery.
I think so.
That's an English guy.
Okay, maybe not.
Strike one.
Well, it's not going to be on Etsy, though.
I'm on Google.
Oh, okay. I think his last name is Kent, though. Maybe it was Tim.
Well,
that's all right.
People are probably like, will you hurry the fuck up? Do we have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so.
Cool.
No, I'm good.
Oh, we should say thank you to the people that came to the show that told us they listened to our podcast.
Yes, we had at least 2 or 3 people that came by.
Yeah, the backyard kiln.
Backyard Kiln, which is Taylor, I believe.
Taylor. And then Brian?
Brian from Louisville Muggery. He brought me a mug.
Yes. Anybody else?
I don't think so.
I think there was 2 for sure that I remember.
Those 2 definitely called out and, said, hey, we listen to the podcast. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and Becca's over there, too. Go talk to Becca.
I'm over there with the shitty table that has a paper sign.
So you know what's weird? I don't know if it's because, I don't know why that is, but I've had people come up to me like in Louisville that have said that versus like I do shows in Cincinnati all the time. I almost never have people that come up to me and say, hey, I listen to your podcast.
That's
I wonder
weird.
if it's because a lot of them that are clay people like already kind of know me, maybe.
Well, maybe it's got a lot to do with Kentucky Mudworks too. Like Kentucky Mudworks is in Louisville.
Or maybe they're just Kentucky people that follow me because they're in Kentucky and we had at least 1, maybe 2 people in Berea that said something.
Yeah. Yeah, we had one that she's moving to Snohomish. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Back to Snohomish. She's like from there.
Yeah. Well, Bear was at the Louisville one too, so I guess it's technically 3.
Yeah, Bear, you count. He's a friend though.
Yeah.
He brought us very delicious donuts.
Yeah, I had a few of those, snacked on them after.
Very good.
Or a few bites of some afterwards.
Very, very good. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a few days and we'll go on our trip and I'm sure we'll have some good times and get tired of each other by the end of it and then chat for the podcast and have good times. So
yeah, we're gonna interview you and Rachel in the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. We said it at the same time.
We said bye at the same time?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye. Documents.
All right. This one is going to be 104, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking so forward to getting that new computer. That's going to be nice.
That's going to be amazing.
It took me a little bit to hit that place order button, but...
How much was it total?
I want to say... For some reason, I want to say it was over 2,000. I think it was 2,200 maybe.
That's reasonable. I mean, like, that makes sense.
Did not go with the Apple Card.
You didn't? You could have gotten 6% cash back.
No, I just used my other credit card and got 6% or 5% or whatever. Yeah, 2,100.
Wow. Okay, so I have a question. I maybe should have asked this on the podcast. Okay, so I was thinking last night because I feel like I'm gonna start doing shows and I'm gonna want shelves. Ow.
Did those earphones press on your ears or they go around your ears?
They press on my ears.
That fucking hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then my earrings jab into my...
Yeah, I can't wear those with my glasses on. I have ones and suction into my ears.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Okay, so I'm going to start doing shows, and I want to build, for the shitty cups, I want to build shelves, but I want to build them so that they're kind of like thin, and they're like...
Like depth-wise thin?
Yeah. Like maybe
but they're
4
stable.
inches. 4 inches, yeah. So I was thinking 4 inches and tall, and they could be skinny. They could still be skinny, but actually I think skinny would be ideal.
What's going to stabilize it though?
Yeah, but you can hang them. So I was thinking you could hang it from the top and just take it all the way straight to the ground.
Okay.
So this is what I was initially
construct it.
This is what I was thinking. because I'm going to be carrying them in my car. So what I was thinking is I could make shelves out of fence posts and then drill holes in them and basically put like rods through them and attach it to the frame so it's stable. Would that work?
What would you have on the rods to maintain that height as you go?
So I could make them with rope, like tie it with rope to make sure they're at the right level.
So it's still going to be basically like a hanging, swaying shelving unit.
It would be if you didn't put the rods in and attach it to the frame.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's still going to be like holes in them in one column or two columns, I guess, on the edges. But the ropes, you're just going to like take the poles out or unhook the poles and then like swing up the whole shelving and then pull the poles out.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like collapse all of them and then just throw the stack in there. I don't know. What are you going to have, like 4
That's what I was
shelves?
thinking. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would be a good idea. Like,
Are you going to put something beneath them? Like, are you going to have a table underneath the 4 or are they just going to be hanging there? Are they going to go down to like waist level or like
probably
belly
the
button level?
waist level would be like,
What are the poles going to do at the ground? Are they just going to hang?
no, they would hit the ground. Oh my God, Ryan.
So you'd have to have a very specific
Ryan!
height. What?
I literally typed in mug shelf and your fucking picture was the like first one on Google.
What?
Yes.
Are you talking about pictures on Google Photo on the images?
Yes.
Holy shit. All right,
Do you
let's see.
see it?
No, it's searching right now. Oh, it is. What?
What the
Look
fuck,
at
Ryan? That's so cool.
that. Is that my blog? That might be from my
Yeah,
blog.
yeah, it is. Oh my fucking God, that's so cool.
That's on my website. Holy shit.
That's fucking dope.
Whoa, that's cool.
Oh my God, you're fucking famous.
Mug shelf. I need to look at how many people are going to that page. I wonder if it's a lot. And that's cool because that page is a build your own. So
Yeah.
wow.
See, okay, do you see that? Do you see that? Okay, so like scroll down on that, and there's like a 45 best coffee mugs for organizing ideas. And it's got like a wall and it's just got lines
Is it in the images section or something else?
in the images. Oh, I guess I could just share my screen.
That's fucking cool that the build your own was in there.
That's so cool. Like this. See that?
Yeah.
Like, that's the look I want. But like in the booth. And I want
Yeah.
it. I wonder if I could make some sort of like shelf.
I would worry that if there's nothing like holding all of it together, like I don't know that the poles are going to keep it from swaying a little bit because the poles would have to be really tight in there, right?
Yeah, okay, so let's move past the poles.
Okay.
We're moving past the poles. Oh. That was not intended. But like, is there something that could be built that like could span the booth like 10 feet?
The width of it,
Yeah.
that's a long shelf though. How are you going to fit 10-foot long things in your car? Can you fit 10 foot in your car?
Big fit. Or even like 8 feet.
8 feet would probably be better. Because I would worry about the weight of it. Well, the weight of a single because it's gonna bow a little bit if you're putting stuff on 8 foot, maybe, depending on the type of wood it is. Like if the wood's thick enough, it might not bend at all.
Mhm.
But you'd almost need some kind of You need something to break it up into like threes.
Okay, so
Because obviously you don't want it going up from the ground because it's not going to be stable enough. It's going to fall over without it being attached.
Hanging from the top or the
Yeah.
side. But I want
Yeah.
it to be like a statement, you know?
Yeah. If it's a statement, I feel like you almost want something on the back side of it to hold it all together. But you probably don't want a board.
I'm not opposed to something being on the back, like a mesh something.
Yeah, you probably want something that's see-through so people can see it from the other side too, so it's not completely just a big block.
Yeah, because then it feels stable anyway. Like it feels. Well, if
Yeah.
it was 7 inches wide, that would be wide enough to like feel comfy, you know, feel like, oh, I'm not gonna knock something off.
You're talking about the depth of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'll think of it. I don't know.
What do you like? What's the look you want? Do you want it to be like the wood, like getting focused? Do you want the rope in there? Do you want it to
I
look
don't need the
like?
rope in there. I don't need the rope. You know what I could do? Is
I
I
wonder if
could
could you just hang them from each other?
could I just do hanging shelves?
Hanging shelves. Hang them from the just like you're talking about. Like could you just hang that? Like aren't they going to be the more and more stable the more that you have attached to each other because that's more weight?
Yeah.
So like why couldn't you use the kind of like eye bolt things that I use for my mug racks? Like couldn't you use those on the ends and like hook them to an eye bolt on the bottom of the shelf next below above it or something? And like just
Oh.
put like 4 of those down?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean that might be the right height you need. Cause think of like a circular eye
And you
bolt.
know what I could do is I could make a frame that goes around it. I don't really need the frame.
I feel like it would be pretty stable because they can't really move that much. If you have 2 eye bolts on each side, like that's going to stabilize it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shelves are going to be kind of bulky because you're going to have each shelf is going to have a bolt going up and a bolt coming down. But
No, but that's fine.
how do you do that? You can't have it like that because it's going to be really thick, right? Your boards are not going to be that thick vertically unless you have like a piece of wood that's like what if you got like a what if you got like a live edge piece of wood and like you cut it down the spine and like it's a certain depth. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't need this to cost $1,000.
Okay. Well, you can just get plain live edge wood for a reasonable price. It doesn't have whatever. Um, yeah. I mean, the wood's got to be thick enough that you could put a bolt into it, and then you could put a bolt under it as well.
Yeah, they would have to go like this.
Yeah, they would kind of have to be offset because the screws would match up butt to butt, and the wood's not going to be that thick probably. So that could work. I feel like that would be easy to like put them together.
Yeah, and they'd be easy to store them too.
Yeah, I mean it'd be kind of awkward because have the things protruding off, but it's not really going to be that much of a footprint in the car. I mean that's an idea.
I wonder if there's something that you could attach it to the base, like attach it to the ground in some way that made it stable, you know, like the bottom one being like having legs or something like that.
I feel like I mean, you'd still have to have something that went across the bottom of your legs, right? Still have to have a pole or a pipe or something that goes from leg to leg at the ground for you to like attach the shelf down to that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just gonna like hang a weight from it.
Well,
That
I
goes to
mean,
the ground.
all of my shelves in the past have just been swinging and they were fine. I never had anything fall off of them.
Yeah. I mean, how many things do you have on them though? If you had 4 shelves that were 8 foot wide, you're gonna have like 60 pieces on it, aren't you?
Yeah.
I feel like if it's too many pieces, people are gonna be reluctant to. If it's not obvious that it's really stable, then people are gonna be reluctant to grab stuff.
Yeah, if it was like only 4, that wouldn't be too much weight. It'd be simple enough and I could do 4 on each side.
Yeah. 4 on each side, so you don't have well, you don't have a free spot for yourself. I
No,
mean,
it'd be like the U. So I'd be in the back of the booth and then they'd be on the sides.
yeah. I mean, would there be a benefit of having different ones that aren't like 8 foot wide, but they're like 6 foot wide, and you could do like different heights of them, so you could put different pieces on them, but the idea is still the same
But I kind of want to just put like cups and little bowls.
on all of them. I was thinking like, would you have your fancy cups on one side that are like,
Okay, so I think I'd have shitty cups along the sides and then fancy cups in the back, like a shorter one, like a 4-foot one.
okay,
Or maybe fancy cups like in the middle, like cutting something, you know?
yeah,
Like sideways so that you could get to it from both sides.
yeah, as long as it's not like people are gonna bump into it and stuff.
Couldn't I just make a fucking shelf where all I'd have to do is like drill in the bottom brackets, like I could just drill the bottom so and then hang it. Okay, so if I made like a U almost, like a really wide U, so like an 8-foot shelf board, and then make an L, like do an L bracket and just
Hmm.
drill it.
Just screw it together.
Yeah, like at the show, just drill it and then attach it to the frame and then have that have little pegs and just put them on and just like hook them in.
You could do that as long as the depth of it is like, because you would want like the peg thing, you need to have something that the peg should either like be like dowels that go through the
I mean, I
frame
guess I could
into
just
the
make a
shelf.
ladder. I could just make a ladder like I did the last time, just a shorter one,
Ladder like last time.
like my other booth. I should just do that. Such a fucking idiot.
You just need to make sure that because the depth of it's not going to be that deep, like you don't want the shelf to like slide and like fall off of whatever's holding it. So you
Yeah,
need to
no,
like
it would
secure
be
the
to the
shelves.
ground. It'd be straight to the ground.
No, no, no. I'm saying the shelves on the pegs. Like they can't just be sitting on pegs because the shelf is not that deep. If it's just like a 4 inch shelf, you'd probably want to like secure
It
the shelf.
it'd probably be 8 inches, 7 or 8.
Okay.
Because I think 4 inches is too thin.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you could also do the little if you did the dowels and you just like set it on there, like maybe you just cut little protrusions out of the shelf little notches, and then you like put it on top, and it just like drops down into the dowels.
Oh yeah.
That way, it's nice and secure. You don't have to like put screws through the middle of the board.
Right.
But the dowels are like, I'm just thinking of a way that if it gets moved, it's not gonna like slide off of the dowels.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going with the shelf route. You don't want any kind of tables or anything like that.
I just
Maybe
feel
just a
like
wrapping
shelves are
table.
my blood.
I mean, they're nice as long as people aren't reluctant to grab stuff from them.
Yeah, no, I would have to make them extremely sturdy. And I think that if I did the ladder system like I did in my last booth, like those were so fucking sturdy. I just need to make a better system that works in a 10 by 10 as opposed to a 10 by 20.
Do you mean the two ladders on the sides and then you put the board through them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did you see the show that I did at um the one I did at the coffee show?
I think so.
The person that I did it with, she had like shutters, like tall shutters.
Oh yeah, and she just put stuff through it.
Yeah. You're still showing your screen and we're still recording, by the way. So I don't know if people will see that.
Oh.
um, but yeah, she like cut slots out. She cut like individual shutter slots out, and then she slid boards through them. I mean, they were kind of tall shutters,
Yeah,
though.
I've seen them. I've seen them. I just don't like shutters.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
For the ladder, do you actually have a ladder? Like,
No,
do you
I
have
made
two
it.
ladders?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'd be a hell of a lot easier to make a ladder for an 8-inch board than a 12-inch board. I could probably just use these IKEA shelving systems that just buy one. Fucking buy one and then just
How efficient is that to put that together and take it apart and put it together and take it apart? Like,
no, not at all. But I could use the frame that they have
oh, I
and
gotcha.
build within it.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that's possible. Have you like looked at some other shows and stuff?
Rebecca just sent me one.
I wonder if does Indy have a lot of shows?
I think they probably do.
I bet you do good at that West Side one. Mug unit. No. Mug shelving. Nice. Unit.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I gotta get up early.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. I'll see you on Thursday.
Sounds good.
Are there any other snacks or anything you think of?